If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we play the just cash. I put my money in a strong position. They try to tell me I can't win, it's just a stupid superstition. Cause when I focus, you will notice that I'm winning. We demolish every bookie, there ain't no competition. Now listen, I would never give you shitty picks and do you wrong. Come and join the Discord, tell these bets to hit the bone. Cooking up a parlay super under center song. We be really winning, this ain't just to make another song. So if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we coming in and we taking all the money.
Just cash.
They can't do nothing to stop us.
Just cash.
Hey, fuck these bookies, man.
Just cash.
They wanna limit me cause I win. Label me the enemy cause all I do is win. Just give us a try, this is where it all begins. I'm not gonna lie, all I know how to do is just win. If you love making money and wanna win,
Just
they wanna
cash.
limit me cause I win.
Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash. Just cash.
Just cash.
love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we play the just cash. Love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we play the just cash.
Hey, hold up. Fuck, I lost too much money on that shit. You fucking fuck.
Just cash.
His name.
Yo.
His name is E. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? What's good? How are you today?
I'm great, man. I'm trying to be in a good mood almost every day. It's hard sometimes, but hey. What you gonna do, man? Hey, today I had to wake up and look at bets. What a tough life.
It is, man. Back to the grind. We're coming back at you guys on this Friday. Y'all all know it. It is Just Cash. Welcome. Joined as always with Underrated. How you doing, man? You looking forward to today and this, Saturday slates just never disappoint.
Oh boy. 100 million games to look at. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. Not sure if we're going to do a night stream. We haven't talked about that yet, but if we do, that would be fun as well. Because we're going to have a lot of props that are just going to pop up throughout the day that I'm going to try to stay on top of as the day goes. So hopefully we'll have some smashes tonight for tomorrow.
Yeah, man, I think so for sure. We've definitely been able to have some good success on Saturdays, so we're going to hit the labs later. I'm definitely down for a nighttime stream. We got to check in and see if we'll have Big Coach available. Hopefully we do, but if not, I am down to stream at the same time we have been, so I think that was 1 Eastern.
Yeah, it sure was. But if you aren't subscribed yet, if you do hit subscribe, you will get a notification when we go live tonight. And any other random time we might go live. When we just
Yes,
say,
sir.
oh my gosh, look at that play. We have to get it out onto the YouTubes. You know, we're at 978 now? Only 22 to go.
Yep, we're so close on the road to 1K. So if you guys haven't already, make sure and hit that again, like and subscribe button. Also, check out the Discord down below. That's really where the main action's going to be. Still running the 7-day free trial for everyone, so make sure and hop in. Got a honestly pretty busy weekend. We secured some really insane value earlier with a payout error from Underdog. We picked up Brianna Stewart's 14.5 points, and they had it at a 0.84, which definitely was wrong. It was a 5-point discount from her normal line. And then we got news that Dejanay Carrington and Jewel Lloyd are going to be out tonight. So Lloyd being out, that's a massive void in shot volume to fill. And the matchup in particular, the Phantoms have been absolutely terrible inside the paint. So all things boding well for that, and now she was bumped up to 24.5 points, so 10-point
What?
discount for that payout.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know
bro.
that. Holy shit. I'm so sad that my fucking limit's $25 on there. That looked like a way better than $25 play with that Dixon call. Damn.
Yeah. So we've seen, now, at least for this first game, this board's been all chopped to hell. Might be some inherent value we'll get later. Looking for Natisha Heidemann, her props. And the Mist also picked up Nalissa Smith today as well. She should be available to play. Have no idea how many minutes she's going to play. Completely unknown. But should see boost to Brianna Stewart, playing fairly steady minutes. Rakia Jackson should pick up quite a bit of minutes here with that void being, needing some fill. And kind of surprised they just bumped Courtney Vandersloot. I think they're going to bump her, but finally, her props have been the same all day. But we will circle back to that a little bit later. It's not what we came here to talk about. We are talking about some college basketball. All right, let's go ahead, rip the Band-Aid off from the get-go from last night, because I know we're all thinking it. Xavier Bell.
No.
Disappointment of the year, potentially. Disappointment. Definitely a disappointment. If you guys didn't actually watch the game, so he opened the game, played 4 minutes, picked up 2 fouls, did not touch the half again. Came back in for the second half, played 2 minutes, picked up a 3rd foul, went to the bench for an extended amount of time, came back in, played 2.5 minutes, picked up his 4th foul, and then coach just benched him. So weird game, to say the least. I mean, he didn't even get a chance to get going. He unfortunately was our favorite play, so kind of is what it is if they get in foul trouble like that. But all the other plays did come through, so at least had a 50% night. Hit 2 out of the 4 plays that we had posted, and one of the other ones, I cannot pronounce his name, but he was a DMP for the 10.5 points, so he ended up not playing there.
Oh, Tomislav?
Yeah, Tomislav.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty unfortunate last night with that play, and it started the day too, right? It was the first game of the day.
Yeah. And the thing that really sucks is the backup guard that came in for him. He had a very solid outing, above his median, above his average. So just one of those things with college, man. If they just get in these weird little funks, it is what it is. But I will tell you, and you heard it here right now, we will double down and triple down on that prop the next game that they play, because they play an absolute dumpster fire of a team. And I guarantee you this man will get it done. So just hang tight. We will have that in a few days. I believe they play in 3 days, Monday or Tuesday. We'll definitely be circling back to that. I guarantee you, fam, we will get that coin back. So we're shaking it off. We're back here for this Flex Friday, and we're going to try to make some money today. So I think we got a couple solid plays. 2 of we talked about yesterday. I believe Braden, his under 3s, the odds moved a little bit more in the negative. So if you got that locked in early yesterday, you got good value. I think he moved from wasn't he a 0.84 or 0.85?
I'm not sure on Underdog, but I want to say it was like a minus 200 on FanDuel and stuff like that. So it's always one of those plays where we kind of got to pair it with something, I would think. Depends on how you like to bet, but yeah,
more than likely we'll probably have to pair it with something, but that's, not the worst case scenario. But yeah, for Braden, we talked about him yesterday, just the volume, honestly, not being there. We've seen him in some of these games in the middle part of the season where he really has to put the team on his back. But over the last, at least since the start of January, that's not been his forte. If you go back and look at last year too, he also has these kind of little hot, cold streaks, and he's back on the down, on the decline as far as needing to do that. We see the facilitating being very consistent. He's crashing the glass a lot more too. And it seems like his forte is definitely not trying to shoot beyond the arc. He's trying to get to the free throw line a lot more, really confuse his opponents. And that's coming in with, as I mentioned, the playmaking. So he's crashing into the lane. He's drawing in defenders. He's taking the shots. So, I definitely don't want to sleep on the field goal volume has been there. But these are coming way more in that mid-range, trying to drive to the basket and pick up those fouls. Or his next best thing he's been doing is crash in, kick it out to a wing player for an open 3. And that's how they have been running their offense a lot more. So I like the fact that, over the last 3 games, which were all competitive games, he only averaged 3 threes, only 3 attempts. So, let's say even on a normal day, 5 to 6 attempts, something like that. You're telling me this dude's got to shoot well over 60% to get something like that. it just feels like one of those props that is a touch too high for him, especially with the recent performance. And he was held in check last year in this matchup too. So, he was only able to muster up 1 in each of those games. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 2, but this game could also blow out too. Purdue has been an absolute monster at the house. I mean, they're, the home crowd favorite, helps a lot, scares off a lot of opponents, especially free throw shooting. I like it. I think they get business handled. If he ends the game with 2, would be surprised, but it still seems like a high marker.
I'm with it. I see when you were looking at his game log, like mid-season, he was actually chucking. But the past, 5-6 games? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? He has 3 attempts in the last 3 games. He got to hit 3 threes to beat us. So I don't like betting on threes, but when it's an under 3 and it looks like this, I got to do it, man. It's like what you said in WNBA too. When they were giving some of those ladies 3.5, we were like, psh, we're betting on here. We got to go under for the most part,
man.
So
and his on-ball defender and Trey Donaldson, he's definitely not a bad defender. He's not a high stock, sort of player, but his opponents scored allowed is not very high or very efficient. He's a phenomenal wing defender. So I think if anything, we could see him try to get the jump on him and try to draw some fouls. But Trey also doesn't foul a lot. I mean, this guy only averages 1.5 foul a game. So he's keeping his hands to himself. More of a 3-point shooter on the other side of things, but he's a decent defender and he sizes up pretty well with Braden. Actually, he's got more size on him, so that could be really interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm down with it. I haven't put any money on it yet, but I was thinking of waiting for something else that looks good. That's kind of one of those minus 500s. I don't know if you've looked at any money lines today. Is there anything that stuck out to you that feels like as locky as you could feel, or have you not really looked through those? Michigan Purdue scary. Penn State scary.
Well,
Marquette, I guess. I think Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette was about the only thing. The Penn State Iowa game I think is definitely more of a true pick'em. I like that total. That total is pretty spicy, but honestly, Marquette was the only thing that was really felt good. Maybe Dayton because they're at home. I mean, they've been playing pretty solid, but St. Joseph is no slouch. So I mean, that's a little nerve wracking there. But do we believe in Purdue that much? Man, I like them at the house, and we're getting some really good odds on them.
I don't know. Looks scary to me. That's not a bet I want to make. It feels like a gamble. I don't want to be a gambler. I want to be an investor. So I'd rather make plays like that, Braden Smith. And honestly, if there's nothing there and it's minus 200, I don't give a fuck. Fuck it, bro. We put $100 on it if that's your unit size. You win half your money back if something happens you think's going to happen. Call it good. I mean, pairing and all that's good sometimes, but if there's nothing to pair, don't force it. If you don't have something you already love, fuck it. Ride with the minus 200. That's my mentality, at least. So that's what I do.
Honestly, there's probably some better money lines to take for tomorrow. Like this. Ooh, here we go. Duke minus 550 on the road at Wake Forest.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That one does feel good, but I am a tiny bit thinking like Duke has been so good. They have to lose sometime. And Wake Forest is not straight shit. And it's at Wake Forest. So, I mean, it definitely feels like they should win, but is it worth it? I don't know. Minus 550. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll come over some of these money lines, and oh man, this is going to be an interesting game. Houston at Kansas. Ooh, 129 total. That's insane.
Houston's defense is fucking crazy. I watched the last game. I had an under on Madsen. I took his under at, I think I got 13.5 points under. The entire team had 20 points at halftime.
Oh, no, Houston's no joke, man.
I'm actually wrong. They had 17 They had 17 points at halftime. And I think they ended with, I want to say, under 50. Oh, yeah, that will be interesting. We'll see what Kansas can do to them. That will be crazy. It's in Kansas, I think, right? So that'll be another thing that'll help them a lot. I think Houston locks people down at home even more. So, but yeah, that will be interesting. I wonder if there's any props in that game that we can go under. They'll probably dump them down low, huh? Because they are.
Yeah, we'll get some decreased lines for sure. But I mean, hey, some of those decreased lines still might be pretty high.
Oh, Tay, what's up, Tay? He says, Bowling Green money line. I like that. Out of left field, Bowling Green money line. Tay, welcome. Woo!
I mean, hey, I like
plus money.
I like
eh?
a good home team.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey, write it down. Put a little something on it just for fun, at least. I don't know anything about Bowling Green, to be honest with you. But if he's gonna come out the woodwork to type in Bowling Green money line, we got to pay attention. So
Let's take a gander at it. It was Bowling Green versus who?
good question.
Oh, here. I don't even need to see that. Hold on one second. Toledo.
All right.
All right. So we got Bowling Green, very mid offense, mid defense. Toledo, awful defense, but better offense. Okay. Now they are at home, so
That's what I was gonna say. You know the home factor in college is fucking crazy.
yeah, I can get behind it. You know, it's just more of a product. Can Toledo actually score the ball? If they could score, I think it's no problem. Their defense is not going to do them any justice. Man, that's going to be a quick game. Yeah, I could see it. You know, we like a good home narrative.
Alrighty. Well, it's still free youngin' around these streets. C-Dot is first.
Hey, what's good, man?
No.
Hashtag
Actually,
youngin'.
I'm sorry. It isn't C-Dot's first. For some reason, it came up on here first. DP Will is first today. Wow.
Go.
He said, I'm feeling the luck
Let's go.
today, fellas. I'm feeling the luck today, too, bro. We appreciate you. J Nug says, somewhere over the weed bow. 2-pick is what he needs.
Bro, I posted it earlier. I hope it was the Breonna Stewart and Eric Dixon under 3.5 turnovers.
How many
That was
units
a one today.
did you put a whole unit on that, E? Couple units?
yeah.
What were we thinking? Full unit?
Yeah, full unit.
Nice. Cash, the 2-pick in the esports channel says, Nug in our Discord, let's freaking go. We're eating. Okay.
Yeah, nice, man. I saw your main play came through. Was it? Miro. Yeah, I saw you were pretty high on him.
You esportsers. C-Dot says Haggerty turnovers as a lean was a great come up last night. So I'm glad you played that. That's what's up.
Bro, I'm kicking myself so hard for not locking that play in, making it official. Underrated and I actually were talking about it the night before, and I'm glad we at least brought it up on stream and talked about. But yeah, man, that was such an obvious play. It's not even funny.
Yeah. He also says Fisher, Stefan, and Haggerty respected the coin last night. So although Xavier Bell didn't come through, which was our favorite play, the rest of them did. So we can't be too mad. So that's what's up. Glad you got that in there and won some money. And that's about who is here at the moment. We can go through our plays, but if you guys got any other plays, drop them in the chat. We can talk about them. Even for tomorrow, if you got anything for tomorrow. I know there's a lot of props up for tomorrow too.
Yeah, I haven't been able to look at tomorrow's slate just yet, but I will definitely be doing that here shortly. All right, next up, let's talk about Eric Dixon and under this 3.5 turnovers that they're coming out of left field with. All right, so just looking at him on the season, I mean, for a while, so he opened the season at 1.5 turnovers, and then in this little run here, they moved him finally up 2.5. He hit it a couple games, and they moved him up to the 2.5 somewhere around in this marker. But he's never, ever been at 3.5 this season. So very curious to where this line is coming from. And the fact that it's a straight payout.
What's that last game, E? What's that last game where he got 6? Why did he get 6? It was random, right? Or is that matchup? They caused a lot of turnovers. What do you think happened?
It's because Wooga got ejected.
Oh, okay. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Makes it even
I
better.
bet.
They're
I
for
bet if we
sure
look,
putting
he
that
had
line. They're for sure putting that line too high, right? Because of that last game. Got to be just
Yeah,
that.
it's
Okay.
strictly coming off of. I mean, well, the last game for one, and then if you look at the the last, we'll say last five, but really the last four games, he had his two other kind of spike games where he had 3 and 3, but then he also had one against Providence, which is a pretty decent turnover matchup. And then, as I mentioned with Wooga, he threw a punch and he got ejected early in the game. So we saw his usage rating spike dramatically from the low 30% that he normally is. He went to a 44% usage rating. So that's always going to come with unfortunate turnovers too. And it's not like Georgetown isn't a decent turnover team, but whenever they're able to double team him and obviously slow things down, it's gonna cause some turnovers to happen. But naturally, I mean, this guy only averages just over 2 turnovers on the season, and his home road splits actually favor less turnovers on the road. But I mean, both of them, either or, is still only at 2. So we're getting basically 2 full points on that, and I mean, that just seems pretty crazy.
Do you think that you've been looking at turnovers now, obviously a lot more than me? Do you think that because it's a turnover prop, that they don't really set it correctly? They just go, okay, well, let's average the last 5, because it's a turnover prop, and no one really plays those. Like, you got to think, if people aren't playing them very much, why would they make sure the lines, and why would they spend the time that they'd spend on his points when they know everyone's going to be betting points? You know what I mean? So you can find shit like that. That's why it's interesting to me when you bring those up. And the hit rate's been crazy. So we gotta venture into this turnover fucking thing here, because I know in NBA, I'm sure it's set a lot different. I would assume they have a lot more data going into it, and so it feels like college turnover props must be a lot softer. So that's dope.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
No, I agree. And so one thing that I noticed that they do is I'm not sure who, specifically what site goes off of where, but typically they're waiting on a book to set the line as far as the odds. And all they're doing is, just straight up offering a prop that shouldn't be there. So I say that because you can tell right here, this was a moment where he went from that 1.5 to the 2.5 finally. And then the 2.5 was kind of nesting around this area, and they were like, okay, he got the 2.5 in 2 games in a row, and I guarantee you he was at 2.5 for this game as well. And then he popped off, and they were like, oh, okay, so maybe we were right. Let's keep it bumped up now for the matchup. I don't understand. The bump is just totally throwing me off, but they're looking at the last 5 or the last 10 here and saying, okay, he's cleared the 2.5 prop. They're making this in a pick'em, he's minus 120 either direction. So, okay, let's go ahead and adjust the line. It can't be 2.5. It's got to be 3.5. So let's just roll with it. And this is one of those props. I say that because this shouldn't even be an option. Like, this guy, in no way in hell, he shouldn't be 2.5. I'll say that, but he definitely should not be 3.5. So they have been opting out of giving turnovers in general for some players, but for college, pretty much across the board, there's a turnover prop for every player, especially the starters, and they don't even question game logs or anything. They're just like, the odds look okay, let's make our payout okay, and here we go.
Well, with that being said, and that being known, like we were saying yesterday, knowing what the bookies are doing is 50% of the battle. So now that we know that that's an advantage for us, especially with the payout. You would think it'd be a minus 200 if they're even going to give it to us, right? But they're like, here, minus 120. Okay. Right?
Yeah. And yeah, for sure. And that's confirming already what I'm thinking, that they really don't have data backing up this at all. Especially if they were looking at something, as far as specifically their opponent, this team doesn't cause any turnovers whatsoever. So he should be an adjusted payout. This, should be an adjusted line. Something should be different other than a straight payout for an adjusted line.
Yeah. So with that being known, though, like, what do you do about your unit size there? Now, I know you put 1 unit on it already, and so did I. Or wait, Yeah. You did this on Underdog, but are you going to straight bet this as well? Or do you feel good about Brianna Stewart enough to feel like you already doubled your bet? You feel like she's hitting that 15. So you're like, fuck it, you're leaving that alone? Or are you going to put more on this? Do you think?
No, I straight bet it as well. You can get it on Fliff.
Okay. So we're going in on this play. Like yesterday, we were going in on Xavier Bell, and I'm sure we had, and I seen people in the Discord say, well, shit, the way you guys were talking about him, it felt like a lot, guys. So what do we say to people like that say, that play wasn't any worse just because it didn't hit, right? It's still a good play. It's just the results don't matter. When you find these type of plays, you got to go in on them. So is that how you feel about this one?
Yeah, I mean, you got to trust the process. Shit'll happen, and we're going to have just unfortunate nights like that. But funny enough, too, talking about Xavier Bell, I guarantee you, so nobody was on him at all yesterday. And then we posted him, and not even 20 minutes later, PrizePicks was the only site to bump him from 13.5 to 14. And I guarantee you, I would not be surprised if he's at 14.5 next game.
Right. Yeah, so you don't think it was rigged?
No, I mean, he just got in foul trouble, and coach just benched him. I mean, you can't do anything about that.
All righty. Well, glad you agree with me, because goodness gracious, that Discord yesterday was talking all kinds of silliness. But guess what, E? I digress to the next prop. But hey, wait. J Nug. J Nug says, I got to play over 24.5 likes.
Ooh, I like that.
Now you
What's
guys
the
are
odds on that one?
Yeah, no, the odds are pretty good actually, because once we put the that little what's it called, poll up, and we say hit the like for good luck on your bets, a lot of people have been hitting the like, so that's what's up, guys. We're at 17 already, so we appreciate that.
Y'all are amazing. The real ones hanging out on the Friday.
Oh boy, Friday night though, when we got the drink in our hand at 2 a.m, finding props. Let's go, E. That's gonna happen later.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get nice and soft stuff again.
Come through, Nug.
Yep, y'all better be there.
All right, what else we got now? 3 more?
Yeah, well, 2.5. We talked about Vlad already yesterday, and we'll just kind of recap on that. So he's in for, honestly, a pretty interesting game. He, has been a rock solid player, and I think that barring any foul trouble, he can definitely go out and handle business. It's going to be a great rebounding matchup for him specifically, and the 5.5 is appropriate, but I don't think it's appropriate for the potential minutes that he can actually play. So let's take a look at him real fast and really just, I guess, kind of show, especially this last month. So it's been very hit or miss. Some game script from the blowouts, like here for this Western Kentucky game, they beat him by 60 points. So he only played 16 minutes. He still ended up with 5 rebounds. And then the USC UCLA game, he was in foul trouble, so we did see the reduction in minutes, and he only ended up with 3. But the game after that, any of these games where he's playing over 30 minutes, I mean, he's looking at more of like a 7 rebound kind of guy. Also shooting the ball a ton. So I gotta shout out, man, some kind of PR or points as well. But the 5.5 rebounds, I think, is going to be a really solid look today. Let's see. Let's take a look at also his on-court matchup. Now, on the other side of things, Caleb First just, I think like 6 games ago, became the starter or the starting center for them with Jacobson being out. He's not a bad defender by any means. I think the biggest thing about him, though, is he does get into foul trouble. And he, has a couple of steals and stuff, but he's not a block guy. He is going to be a decent sized body as far as being able to defend. But, I mean, Golden is just an absolute monster. This dude's 7'1", 250. So weight-wise, they're pretty evenly matched. But he's got about a 3 or 4 inch reach on the opposing center. And as long as this dude doesn't get into foul trouble, he's playing pretty hefty minutes. So I like him. I think consideration also, like I said, for the scoring upside is definitely warranted, but the rebounds also looking pretty solid.
I agree, sir. I agree. I like the rebounds. I hate betting on rebounds. If we can help it, try not to, but I mean, it's too good to pass up, Like when he gets his minutes, he should get his rebounds. The scary part is that matchup. I will say that's the only thing. The matchup is a little scary, and he can get into foul trouble and make us sad in the first quarter too. But
For sure.
know, that's what
Yeah.
betting is, right? Weigh the pros and the cons. And his PR doesn't look too bad. It's just the same idea, though. Is Purdue's defense going to lock him down, cause fouls, etc.? So it's I feel like we got to just hit the the rebound, and just kind of ride with whatever that is. And don't go too big on it just because it's a fucking rebound play.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right about that. So it's nothing that feels like an egregious amount of value, but if we're getting the minutes, this guy's definitely been crushing this line. One thing I also kind of like too, circling back to the Braden under that we talked about earlier, when Purdue is playing their game, they're not a heavy three-point shooting team. Like they like to take a lot of mid-ranges. They like to draw the fouls. They like to slow the game, the pace down. And I think that actually works out really well for Golden with him being such a tall, literal monstrous figure out there. And the fact that they're not really shooting that many threes, so that means there's going to be a ton of mid-range going up. That's where he really thrives in. A lot of the times in these games, too, where he's had low rebounding, it was also because of their opponent, on the offensive side, their opponent was drawing him out to the three-point line, so they would leave him basically out of the play. And we can see that also in correlation with his scoring upside. So the games where he is, having to defend beyond the arc, he's not picking up the rebounding, but the scoring is definitely still very consistent. So in those, instances, he's first in transition. So he's catching lobs, he's catching stuff down and making plays off of that. So I like both of them, really just banking on the minutes. Him going out and being able to play 30 minutes at least would be nice. But anything over that is definitely gravy.
All right. I'm with it. We got to do it. Just a little half unit at least.
Yeah, a little half ski at least on that one.
Little half ski.
All right. Next play, we got Cam Jones under the 24.5 PR. I know you've been kind of on the Cam unders lately, so what was your biggest appeal for this?
His lines are always just a little bit too high. He's a good player, obviously. He's one of the best players in college, but the teams come in and they know he's the best player, so it seems like they pay a lot of attention to him. You can see at the beginning of the season he was getting it done even more, and I feel like that also has kept the lines up a little high. So bookies are like, oh, look at, he's been doing this, and even players or even people betting on him will look at that and say, oh, his average is there, but look at him, you can see in his last 4 he's kind of down. Last 5 out of 6 he's underneath what we're looking at here. Plus, I know in this matchup that the assists might be an issue. He could have 10 assists and fuck us if we go PRA, but I feel like the rebounds probably won't spike too much. And really, like I said, teams are just doubling him and worrying about him. I don't think he's going to score to that point where he's going to get us too bad. You could go straight points, but either or. But I kind of like that stupid feeling if the game starts and the number's higher, he needs 25 things to happen. It makes no sense. But either or, points or PR. But I wouldn't fuck with the assists.
Yeah, it's still probably, I think it's definitely a more difficult matchup. And circling back to talking about really just over the last month. So, the beginning of the year when he was really going off, these were some pretty favorable matchups. He did have a couple of more difficult teams in the mix, but over the last month now, this team has actually played some real opponents, and you can see these are mostly a lot of top 100 teams like this matchup's going to be, but he's really only getting over in these kind of mid teams right here, and any of the more elite matchups, he is either really struggling or he's just coming up slightly short. So I think it's still really favorable lines. He was 20.5, I believe, last game, but 19.5 still feels pretty solid. He isn't home, so that is something to consider. But if teams continue to double him and try and trap him on the outside, I think it's going to be, again, more difficult time scoring.
Right. It's betting. I like our chances. It's not the best feeling in the world because he can pop off, but I like our chances with that. It's kind of like, actually, the Braden Smith's probably feels even better than this, as Braden hasn't been shooting his threes. I was trying to compare it to like the list, like what we like as far as, best to scariest bet, I guess, but it feels right in the middle there somewhere, right? And we have it fourth.
Yeah. No, I mean, it feels like a solid play. His lines are still adjusted or more appropriate than they should be, and for the matchup, it's going to be a pace down for them as well.
So those top 2 plays are still the ones. Those feel the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. That's probably the 2 pick that Nug's talking about, right? Would you say?
Yeah, you could definitely do it in these 2 games.
As long as now that the Brianna Stewart plays has changed. But yeah, as of now, those are your 2 faves. All right, gotcha. We have one more left?
Yep. So same game here. His fellow teammates, Big Stevie Mitchell, and 1.5 steals. Now, this is a little bit more of a linear prop than what I might normally take, but man, is this guy a machine. Just an absolute steal monster. He's one of their best on-ball defenders they have. And Big Stevie, man, he averages almost 3 steals a game. So this dude is really getting after it. One thing we talked about earlier, too, with Wooga being ejected last game for Villanova, a lot of the times we see this where guys have, awful foul games, ejection games, stuff like that. They always come back trying to fight with hunger, really trying to make buckets, make plays and stuff. So assuming if we see Wooga try to have a bounce back performance, Stevie's going to be his on-ball defender. I really, really like the minutes that he plays is pretty solid. Coach leaves him out there to defend whoever the best shooter is going to be. So real good chance. I think he's going to cover Wooga. And if Wooga picks up that increased usage, we're going to see this guy really get after it. He is 12 out of 15 games he's hit at home. And you can see obviously really solid overall season record. And in historic matchups, the only game that he missed was the road matchup where he still had 1 steal, but the 2 home games last year, he had 3 steals in each of them. So I like him, man. This is all he does. He goes out, he shoots a little bit overall, but the steals are this guy's primo du jour, and 1.5 is just way too low.
Primo du jour. I'll take a little halfer on that just for fun. Although I hate steal props, it makes sense. Got to put a little something similar to the rebound props. I'd rather play. I think I'd almost rather play the rebound prop when it comes to the feeling of a particular prop. But you sold it in the way of, why wouldn't he get 2 again today? Why not? I see it's minus 180. That's the thing. That's one of the things, right? We got to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah. That works. I think we have 5 pretty solid plays for such a small slate. That's not bad. C-Dot says, no such thing as a lock. If you think there is, you need to stop gambling. That is actually really good advice. Gotta keep your mindset right. That's kind of like half of this, right? Especially when people are betting parlays and they have these swings where they win 1 time a week. So like their feeling is so fucked up half the time. They're just like, oh man, I've been losing. Well, stop doing 5 and 6 picks, 4 picks, all that. Get some winning under your belt.
The ebbs and flows are going to happen. So let's just kind of, quick recap for this week where we had, we started the week, almost swept. We went like X-2. The next day had a total bust out. One of the worst days that we've had on the season. The following day, we swept. We went X-1. I think we missed an alt play. And then yesterday, we went 50-50. So there's a lot of back and forth with that. You just got to make sure y'all are staying consistent with, your unit, your bet size, like all that stuff. Even when we say like, okay, yeah, it's a full unit play, still keep, you're not full send the account. You're not betting hundreds and hundreds where you normally are betting like, 20 or 30 bucks. Maybe you bet 50 bucks. Maybe you bet a little bit more, but you're not like, oh man, let me full send the torpedoes here.
Right. Because I think some people do that too, because they're so excited about winning that much money. Like, oh, I got something. The guy said it was a good play, like to that effect. So I'm gonna you got to really pay attention to the unit size and really do that if you want to. Damn, that was pause. But I'm just saying, like, you gotta make sure that you follow your rules and your guidelines, and don't let your emotions get to you and make you do dumb shit. So it all kind of, I don't know. Hopefully, people on this channel can figure out certain ways to win for them, and we can help them do that. Because, oh man, bookies fucking dickheads. Eric says, "Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Eric?
Hey,
Eric,
what's up, dude?
Eric too. I always gotta give Eric too the nice welcome. Appreciate him. Now that he hates NBA with us." Nug says, "Yeah, I did Brianna and the Eric 2 pick. Big Eric, Lord, if Brianna gets 14, I'm throwing all of her stuff out of my house." Nug says
she's getting 15 points tonight for sure, man.
Okay. All of her shit's going out of his house. If she doesn't, that's a good one. Make sure to diversify your picks. Money is everywhere. It's like an Easter egg hunt. The Big Nug spit knowledge today. All right. Well, we're at 19 likes, E. What do you think? How's that hit you?
Hey, we appreciate all 19 of y'all that were able to do it. And if we can at least squeeze out that big 2-0, let's get 20 likes today at least. That would be phenomenal. 25 would be, that's our good luck spot. So if we can get that would be fantastic. But, 20 likes at least, I think is a solid.
You know what
solid for a part 1 stream.
Yeah, and such a small slate, so it's understandable. But the other thing I wanted to throw out there was when we get off the stream, if anyone ever has plays that they like or they research something, throw it in a comment under here, because that'll help us too. This isn't really the right stream for that, but I was just thinking of that the other day. Like, we gotta say, hey man, throw some shit in the comments here. We could see what you're doing there. So anyways, that was a long way of saying nothing, and back to you, E. Hey, we got the 20
right.
though. We got the 20. Let's go.
Hey, let's go. Well, so since we are keeping it pretty light today, I'll at least talk about
21.
Hey, four more.
Oh shit.
Let's talk about three or four plays that were on the radar. If the matchups were a little bit better, I would be in love with them, but three plays I think we should talk about still. So let me close all this crap out here. I got at least like 40 tabs open. All right,
22.
We bring them over here. And
Three more. We only need 3 more.
All right, three more. Okay, so these are just lean plays. Let me stress that again, but ones that I think hold pretty solid value, and the matchups decent to could be better. All right, first up is going to be Ben Gold. He is the center for Marquette, and he's been honestly, surprisingly, their main three-point shooter. So naturally you wouldn't think about the center being that guy, but he has so far this season, and it's a really, really good matchup as far as three-point shooters. Marquette doesn't really shoot a whole lot of threes. They more kind of, do that as a team. It's not really, a designated guard or a designated forward or anything like that. But the center, that's really been his forte, is just shooting a lot of threes. So most of his shot volume overall is coming for three. He's kind of, like a Jokic style. Just he's a slow three-point shooter, but he's very efficient. So we're really just kind of sweating the volume. If we can get any shots over, that 4 to 5 range, looking pretty solid. 5 and beyond would be more ideal. But again, he's very efficient. It's a good matchup for it. I would expect him to be pulling, Bioke out to the 3-point line. Just a low-hanging fruit, though. Something he's been hitting so far in the season and seemed like kind of a lower sweat. So one idea for that matchup. The other one's going to be circling back to the UCLA game. I think 2 different players that kind of stood out. One of them was going to be Kobe Johnson. The other one's going back to Big Tyler. Now, Tyler, really the only thing with him is just going to be the foul risk. If he can keep his hands to himself, you're looking at anything over the 14.5 marker. If he does get in foul trouble, he definitely dials it back as far as offensive usage. 14.5 points is pretty generous. He's been really consistent so far on the season, and his home road splits actually favor the road slightly. So barring any foul trouble, I don't mind that 14.5 again. Let's see. So same side of things, Big Kobe Johnson. Not really a shooter. Honestly, some of these games have been really up and down, double digit or barely getting 7 points, but he's been really solid as far as with the RA on the season. What are you doing, man?
What, moving the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Seeing it like
Just playing around, bro. Just playing around. You can't follow it? What's wrong, bro?
no, I can.
Oh.
Um,
I just tried to zoom it in for you
Anyways.
so I could see it a little bit more. My bad. Eric, hey, E2 says, wait.
wait. What are we waiting on?
He said, I don't know. That's how he wrote it. So I figured I'd make it abrupt like how he wrote it. My bad. He said, any chance Big E Money can drop a CBB Flex Friday slip? You're like, bro.
Yeah, we can talk about something for that.
Okay.
The only thing with PrizePicks, man, is they're being pretty linear on the option or the variety of props that they're giving us today, which is kind of annoying. Like Eric Dixon isn't even on there, even though he's a minus 120 bet. Like, where's that at? Man, today might be a little bit more difficult on PrizePicks. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
C Dot said
Yeah,
Vlad bumped to 6 rebounds as well on Underdog.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he's at 6 on here. Yep. So right now, PrizePicks has a 0.5 tax on literally everything.
Really? I didn't notice that. They do college. They fuck with. All right. That might be the spot to do some unders sometimes then, huh? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to circle back to this a little bit more because they're being kind of lame with that. And again, with just the prop variety they have today is pretty small.
Alrighty.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. Honestly, PrizePicks today, they're only gonna get maybe this protected slip, and that's gonna be about it. Oh yeah, see, Vladdy's gone here too.
Vladdy! He left me.
Okay, we were talking about Kobe Johnson though real fast. Just,
Sure.
He's been hitting this line so far all season. The shooting could be better or a little bit more consistent, but he's been very consistent with the RA. It's a pretty decent scoring spot, very middle of the pack. Pretty solid rebounding spot, not so much for the assists. So he's just playing a bunch of minutes. I do like that for him in the games that are competitive and he's not in foul trouble. Only thing I worry about him is really just a scoring upside. So definitely a lean play here. More of a hedge to Tyler in the 14.5 points. Well, one last one that was really on my radar today, and I'm really surprised that he's plus money. Well, I know he's plus money because he should be 21.5 PRA if you add all of his stuff up. They're not daring give us 21.5, but even the 22.5, and I got to also say the 7.5 RA for Xavier Brown. Man, this dude is just playing really, really well, and I'm very surprised that they're even dangling some of this, even though it could be better payout, better money. I would love the 21.5 PRA, man. I'm really sad they didn't just straight up give that. But even the 22.5, man, this dude's been a bucket. Just doing a lot for the team. He does. Sorry, one second. He does a lot of rebounding, playmaking, and he is shooting the ball a ton. Let's see. Isn't the right guy? How many Xavier Browns can there be? Am I tripping? Oh, it's spelled differently. I'm definitely tripping.
It's
X
Xavier. His parents were like, fuck that. We're changing this shit up.
All right, here we go. Okay, so another player who was coming back from injury and did come off the bench for these two games, but he's back in the starting role. You can see he's playing an insane amount of minutes. So even this game here, they were up 93 to 57, still played 32 minutes. I mean, the dude's a lock for at least 31 minutes a night. Shooting the ball a ton. You can see back with the starters, double-digit field goal attempts going right back up. The rebounding and assist is a little bit more back and forth. I think he's honestly more consistent for the playmaking as opposed to the rebounding. But yeah, I mean, this dude, if it was any different matchup, I would be in love with this play, hands down. really solid, very consistent, but more of a lean play. It's, a low total, low pace, and all that good stuff. But this dude's balling right now.
Ballin'. That's what's up.
Balling.
Guess what, bro? We're at 23. We're at 23.
23. Oh, two away.
You know what's crazy is we got those 3 or 4 in a row because we were talking about likes and people gave us those likes, and then look at through 30 people in the room. It's so strange how that really fucking works.
2 likes.
And every time we get to the 25, bro, I swear the luck has been that much better. So I'm sure we'll get to it.
We've had insane luck.
Yeah.
Insane, like sweeping kind of luck.
Sweeping luck with 25. Oh, man. Hit that like, guys.
All right.
You know you want to.
We'll at least recap the plays here real fast, and then I think we're going to get out of here. Thankfully, there's no early lock time today, so we get the full hour.
Oh, yeah, we got plenty of time.
All right. Well, we got Braden Smith under the 2.5 threes. Eric Dixon under 3.5 turnovers. I think that might be the E-Dog play of the day. Might be right there.
Nice.
Big Vladdy, hopefully you guys got it. He did move to 6 or 6.5 in most sites. We got Cam Jones, 24.5 under PR. And then Big Stevie Mitchell, 1.5 steals.
That's what's up. Looks like 5-0 to me.
I think so, man. I think so. Looking forward to the results from that. And again, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out whenever we do go live. We are going to be going live again at 1 a.m. later on tonight in lieu of tomorrow's slate. So make sure you guys are tuned into that. Turn the noties on. Don't miss out. All right, dude. I think we are going to bounce either way. We got to get out of here. Go chop it up some more. Make sure we get all the last minute news. Unrivaled, I think, starts at 6:15. Okay, so about 2 hours from now, we'll be keeping an eye out for that. We got most of the injury news for that. We're really just waiting on starter news. And I'll say keep an eye out for Natisha Heidemann. Her point prop is probably going to be worth a look today, too.
Sounds good, bro.
All right, y'all. Well, underrated, I appreciate it, man. We're going to get out of here. You guys have been amazing. We will see you back here later tonight. So good luck today and have a good one. Peace.